Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Coming up on the State of the Saints podcast, we break down the Saints trade with the Denver Broncos to require wide receiver Devaughn Vele. Keep it locked right here to the State of the Saints podcast. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that?
Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate your time, no matter where you are, wherever you may be. On this edition, we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints making a trade with Sean Payton's Denver Broncos to bring in a big-bodied receiver. The New Orleans Saints give a 4th and a 7th round pick to the Denver Broncos in exchange for wide receiver Devaughn Vele. Devaughn Vele is a second-year guy out of Utah. He's 6'5", 210 pounds, and he is a much-needed receiver in the wide receiver room for the New Orleans Saints. He's a big-body guy. Last season, he pretty much flashed for the Denver Broncos based on his position. He was a 7th round pick. But Vele, he had 41 receptions for 475 yards and 3 touchdowns. And, he started to come on towards the end of the season. There were a lot of positive things that were said about him, when it comes to his ability. Sean Payton even compared him to Saints legend Marcus Colston. But I look at this guy and I just think that he fills a void. I think that he's one of those players that can come in, that can contribute, and they'll have a role for him. I think he will be a really good addition in the red zone, being a big target. And not to mention, this guy isn't afraid to catch passes over the middle. He's not afraid to try to go after contested catches. In fact, there's a really good success rate between him and Bo Nix last season. And when it comes to connecting on some of these crucial third downs. And when we talk about when it comes to these 50-50 balls, which the Saints desperately need. We know the Saints have talent at the wide receiver position: Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, Brandon Cooks. These 3 individuals are going to be featured, but it's good to actually have another receiver that Saints fans have been asking for, a big body receiver to come in to contribute to the team. Now, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of debate about, was this the right decision for the New Orleans Saints? They gave up a 4th round draft pick. They gave up a 7. Oh, my goodness, the sky's falling. Oh, my goodness, we going to suck forever. Look, man, I did a little research, all right? I did a little research to try to talk some of you Saints fans off the ledge. Some of you probably are lost causes. I'm not talking to the people that are lost causes. I mean, whatever. I'm talking to ones that are open-minded and think logically, right? Let me go ahead and say this before I even start. Or let me ask a question, rather. What did you think a rebuild was? I just got to know what some of these Saints fans thought a rebuild was. Did they think that a rebuild was going to be like maybe how you construct your Madden team, where you probably would turn off the salary cap and then you can go out here and get whoever the hell you want? Or maybe you just thought that It's like one of those Disney movies that you watch where, you're snake bitten and then all of a sudden you bring somebody in and then you win every game. I don't know. But a rebuild is a process and it's going to take some time. And I know that Saints fans, they get hooked up. Well, I won't say all of them, but some Saints fans like to hear guys that have cachet come to the team, a guy that they recognize. Oh, we got this guy. Oh, he made this play on this day and he a beast and all this. But I'm just saying, for all those people that are criticizing Devaughn Vele, who is this guy, this, that, and the third, somebody please tell me in 2006, did any Saints fan know who Marcus Colston was? Did anybody know who Lance Moore was? Did anybody know who Pierre Thomas was? Did anybody know who Tavares Cadet was? Did we know who any of these individuals were before they came to the New Orleans Saints and they contributed in a big way? If you are a logical Saints fan, the answer to that is you didn't know who the heck they were. This is a guy who is going into his second season that has flashed, and he was congested inside of a wide receiver room that was already talented. Then that's the reason why the Denver Broncos looked at it like an opportunity to trade this guy. And you have Saints fans out here, once again, in their feelings. Well, if he was so good, why did they get rid of him? Why did Sean Payton get rid of him? Did Sean Payton get rid of Akeem Hicks back in the day? Did he trade Akeem Hicks? I think Akeem Hicks was pretty doggone good as an interior lineman. Did he trade Brandon Cooks? I think that Brandon Cooks was a really solid receiver. As a matter of fact, he put up some of his best numbers when the Saints traded him to the New England Patriots. But we're not going to talk about that. So to say that, if the guy was good enough, then they wouldn't have traded him. It's not like you're talking about Cortland Sutton here. You're talking about a guy who is showing flashes, and it's a great opportunity to be able to maybe trade this guy so he can go out here and be effective for another team. Seems like a win. And for all those Saints fans out there that are talking, oh man, it's a fourth round pick. We giving up a fourth round pick. Got some numbers for you. All right. The chances of a fourth round pick finding success and becoming a starter in the National Football League is a whopping 8%. I'm going to say that again. The chances of a fourth round pick finding success in the National Football League is 8%. Now, you look at the history of the New Orleans Saints since 2016. There are only two guys that I can think of that the Saints drafted in the fourth round that made an impact. That was Devaughn Vele in 2016 and C.J. Garner-Johnson in 2019. Now, I'm going to leave Quincy Riley and Danny Stutzman out of this because we don't know what those two guys are going to be able to do in a Saints uniform. But all I'm saying is the Saints have given you the incredible stylings of a fourth-round pick in the form of an Ian Book. Have given you an incredible stylings of a fourth-round pick, no disrespect to the brother, I like him, but Jake Haener. And I'm just saying to you, Nick Saldiveri. So all I'm saying is we up here crying about fourth-round draft picks, and historically, they haven't worked out in the first place. So at the end of the day, if you can bring in a guy that has shown flashes, that can make an impact, that can actually fill a need on your team, why are we complaining about it? Because we don't know their name? Because they don't come out of Ohio State? Oh, all of a sudden, like we talk about them, I tell my Falcon friend about them, all of a sudden, like, oh man, they don't know who they are. I'm embarrassed. Man, nobody cares about that stuff. If Vele comes to the New Orleans Saints and you traded a fourth round pick and this guy gives you 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, that's a win. You're not asking this guy to be your number one receiver. Why are we acting like fourth round draft picks? We giving that up. It's like giving up a first round draft pick. It's a gamble. Chances of a 4th to a 7th round pick in the National Football League finding success in the league is single digits. So if you can find some guy that can make an impact that shows flashes, why the heck not? And then on top of that, the Saints can still get a 4th round pick for Paulson Adebo. And this is for all those people out there that was going at me on social media that was saying, well, if the New Orleans Saints not going to get no 4th round pick, they got Isaac Yadam because, Paulson Adebo, he went to the Giants, but Isaac Yadam going to start. It's one thing to start talking. I'm cool with that. But to talk like you know what the hell you talking about is another thing. Okay? The Saints can acquire a 4th round pick for Paulson Adebo. And it would have absolutely nothing to do with Isaac Yadam, regardless to if he starts or not. Allow me to break this down for you. Paulson Adebo signed a 3-year, $54 million contract with the New York Giants. Isaac Yadam signed a 3-year, $18 million deal with the New Orleans Saints. Paulson Adebo's value is higher than Isaac Yadam because the Saints lost a player of higher value when it comes to the contract. It doesn't matter if Isaac Yadam starts or not, the Saints still would get a compensatory pick based on the fact that Paulson Adebo is going to be a starter that making more money, so it is a bigger loss to the New Orleans Saints, which means, regardless to if Isaac Yadam starts or not, Paulson Adebo addition to the Giants will bring a 4th round compensatory pick to the New Orleans Saints. Once again, if you go at the king, you better not miss. All I'm saying is be quiet, allow these things to kind of work itself out. I get that Saints fans are upset. I get that you don't know what is going to happen with the football team. But that's the thing. You don't know. And you can't get upset with people that have a wait and see approach about the state of the Saints. No pun intended. If you want to be negative, Nancy, that's fine. If you want to say that the team is going to fail, that's fine. If you want to be Chicken Little and say the sky is falling, that's fine. I'm not saying let's not have a conversation when we get to that point, but all I am saying is we're going into the 3rd week of preseason. You don't know what the season is going to pan out and look like. We have seen this before. I'm not saying that the Saints are going to be one of the best teams in the league, but we need to have a wait and see approach. And we wanted a rebuild. I keep saying this. You wanted a rebuild, and people are still complaining about it. I just don't understand it. I don't understand if you ask for change, you get change. Why are you mad that things are changing? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But I guess that's just the breaks. People just like to complain about things. People just want to talk loud and say absolutely nothing. People want to be right, or try to be right rather, or they just try to talk you down and make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about. But in reality, they find out they don't know what they're talking about. All I'm saying is this guy has talent. This guy fills a void. He's a big body receiver, and he can bring something to the team. So allow it to happen. If it doesn't work out, then it is what it is. Let's just move on from it. But I believe that Vele can be a key addition to the Saints and fill that void. And I just want to know. Man, for all those people out here that's talking about it's a terrible idea, it's awful, oh my goodness, we're terrible, this, that, and the third, fire everybody, fire the popcorn guy, fire the cotton candy man. I just want to know, if things work out with Devaughn Vele, will the same energy that is going across platforms everywhere, telling people that how terrible this decision is, will that same energy be in the chats on social media if it works out? Probably not. And that's one of the main reasons why most of you are using fake profiles and eggs for profile pictures, because just in case you're talking loud and saying absolutely nothing, I guess it's no harm, no foul. But all I got to say is put a face on it. If that's how you feel, if you think the Saints are going to be terrible, put a face on it. If you think that, this take is terrible, put a face on it. That's all I'm saying. Then I will take a little bit more serious than I actually do. But let's go ahead and read some comments. I really do appreciate you all for being here. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody at home. Let's go ahead and get started, man. I also think people are worried about the way Loomis does business and has in his past fleeced moments. I think people are worried about that. But look, all I'm saying is I'm just looking at the process. I will break things down. I will dissect things when all the facts come out. I just don't get like why we're at a point where everybody just rushing to judgment like everything just is going to fail. Like I get the skepticism, but they are doing things differently. I just sit back and I just listen to people. Like, see what people type and tweet. Like it's insane. You will say, like, people will say on one hand, the Saints need to get younger as a team, but then turn around and talk about Amari Cooper and Odell Beckham Jr. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? We will talk about, oh, we want to rebuild. But then when the Saints start having moving parts, oh, man, I don't know about that. It's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't. Like, I get the skepticism, but at the same time, like, it's so hard for me to, like, get upset or overreact about something that I don't know is going to happen. Like, it seems like the emotions of Saints fans are reigning supreme right now. Like, they don't know what's going to happen. But because they don't know what's going to happen, they're trying to, I guess, like, take that energy that they have and instill it inside people that may have a wait and see approach. I just don't get it. Like, we can have the conversation. We can get to that point. If it happens, like, let's talk about it. But I have a wait and see approach. I don't feel like anybody should just do things based on, like, just impulse. Like, impulsive behavior is the detriment to a lot of people. The rush to judgment culture that we have is the detriment to a lot of people. Feeling like we have everything figured out is the detriment to people. We rob ourselves out of opportunities, friendships, relationships by rushing to judgment. I'm not that type of person. I spent my early 20s being that person. And I'm pretty sure that I missed out on a lot of opportunities and friendships and relationships in the process. So as I get older, I just got to wait and see approach. And then if people give me what I ask for, I'm going to see it through. I'm going to see it through. I'm not going to complain about something that I asked for. And I'm going to continue to say it. I'm going to sound like a broken record. Saints fans ask for a rebuild. Saints fans ask for change. This is the reason why the organization just basically just lives in an echo chamber, because they tune you out. If they give you what you want, you still complaining about it. So why in the world should I listen to you? Because it seems like you're never satisfied. So that's the way I feel about it. Let's go ahead and move on. Mad Drummer, he only played 13 games last year, too, at 4 games of production, and bro probably had 700-800 yards. Yeah? Let's see. If you want this team to fail, you are not a true Saints fan. No real fan will want their team to tank and fail. That's just crazy. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Let's see. Dude caught 74% of his passes. Dude make catches and plays when he gets targeted. And that's all you can ask for, right? A guy that goes out there and make plays. But we don't know who he is because, he not Jeremiah Smith. He ain't, he ain't the second coming of Julio Jones. He ain't the second coming of Antonio Brown. Like, so he must be trash. He must be trash because I don't know who he is. Okay. Let's see. If he was healthy, he would have had more yards than Worthy and Keon Coleman. Pretty much. I just want to know why the hell Loomis out here trying to trade picks for running backs when you have depth at the spot and you still have AK. I mean, it could be because they feel like something is better out there. Isn't that what we want? We want the Saints to try to become the best version of themselves, right? We want the Saints to try to be as aggressive as they can to try to bring in talent. So if the Saints bring in Brian Robinson, we complaining about that. If the Saints can find a way to acquire Breece Hall from the Jets, are we complaining about that? I'm not. I'm not complaining about that at all. And I get it. Like you have guys like Devaughn Vele and Kendre Miller. But if you're trying to find success and you're trying to maximize every position, you're always going to be looking. And then you also have to take this into consideration. Alvin Kamara ain't going to play forever. And although Kendre Miller has looked pretty good this preseason, I mean, he hasn't solidified himself as a surefire successor to Alvin Kamara. So, and Devaughn Vele, I mean, the jury's still out about him. So, man, you got to continue to look. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with that at all. But, just because they looking don't mean that, they're going to bring somebody in. But look, if they can acquire Breece Hall, I ain't upset with that because Breece Hall is a beast. If you can find a way to get Brian Robinson in here, like, I'm not mad at that either. TJ, people wanted to sign injury-prone and old-ass OBJ just because he played for LSU, and we upset about a younger receiver that has potential to be great because they don't know who he is, Brandon. That's all it is. That's what it comes down to. If I got to use Wikipedia to find out who they are, they must not be very good, okay? But like I said, the Saints' entire, history when it comes to, some of their greatest wide receivers, nobody really knew what they were capable of, and that includes – Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas wasn't the top receiver on Ohio State's team when he was playing. He was a second-round pick that the Saints had that wasn't the fastest guy in the world. But, he was just a really strong, disciplined route runner that catches everything. Kind of sounds similar to somebody that's about to be traded to the New Orleans Saints. I'm just saying. I don't know. But you didn't know about Marcus Coaster. You didn't know about Lance Moore. You didn't know about Pierre Thomas. You didn't know that much about probably Robert Meacham. Maybe some SEC stuff. I'm going to say Devery Henderson people knew about because he went to LSU. But even with Devery, he became more polished. I can remember Devery Henderson dropping everything. We don't know people, so all of a sudden they just got to suck. If Adam Schefter not talking about them all the time, or we haven't heard them, on primetime television, then all of a sudden, oh man, they gotta suck. Oh, we getting fleeced. Okay. All right. All I want to know is if this guy comes in and makes an impact for this football team, and he contributes 400-500 yards, clutch play in the middle of a game, moving the chains. I just want to know if people are going to come through and have that same type of energy that they talking about. This guy ain't gonna work out. I just want to know if they're gonna be able to be brave enough to come through and say, you know what, I was wrong. Probably not, because that's not how people work. They're just gonna move the goalpost and talk about Loomis and talk about how you know me. If you rocking with the status, you know me. I don't hold nothing back when it comes to Mickey Loomis, right? But I'm not gonna use him as an excuse. When I'm wrong about something, I'm going to address that, and then we can talk about Loomis. We put too much stock in late-round draft capital. We are getting a guy who can move the chains and has physical traits to be a solid, good contributor. All I'm saying is, what fourth-round pick had the New Orleans Saints, for the exception of C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me pull this up, man. Because I just want to know. I just want to know, why is it that, who is this highly touted fourth-round pick that everybody talking about that we just, that the Saints just desperately about to lose? Okay, I'm about to call it out, all right? This is from 2015. In 2015, the Saints didn't have a fourth-round pick. 2016, Devaughn Vele. I would say that's a hit, right? Devaughn Vele was a starter for the Saints, really good run stopper, pretty much, was one of the main reasons why the Saints didn't allow a 100-yard rusher for 2 seasons. 2017, they didn't have one. 2018, Rick Leonard. Anybody? Rick Leonard. Sound like somebody that's probably in your math class that's sitting in the back. 2019, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I would say C.J. Gardner-Johnson worked out with the Saints. Everybody pretty much liked him while he was there. 2020, they didn't have one. 2021, Ian Book. Is Ian Book the starting quarterback of the Saints right now? Did Ian Book play in any games for the Saints? Besides that game, he basically looked like absolute slaw against the Miami Dolphins on a Monday night when everybody was out during COVID. I mean, anybody. I mean, tell me about that incredible quarterback play of fourth-round pick Ian Book. 2022, nobody. 2023, Nick Saldiveri, who I have nothing but respect for, covering the Sun Belt, Coastal Carolina, watched him play. But guy ain't seen the field in I don't know how long, right? I mean, the Saints been trying to put him on the field, but he just can't get there. Then you have Jake Hayner, who is in a quarterback competition just only by, just by word and hearsay, right? Nothing against him, but not going to be the starting quarterback of the Saints. Oh, my goodness, that's a terrible, I mean, what are we doing here? 2024, nobody. And 2025, I mean, these two guys just got drafted, Danny Stutzman and Quincy Riley. So the jury is still out with that. So out of those names that I just named, who are you losing sleep over losing? Devaughn Vele and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Oh, the only two guys on this list, if they were still with the Saints, people would be happy about. The other players, I mean, I forgot they was in the league, or, they probably hurt, or they just career backups. So we up here crying and complaining about career backups, guys we forgot in the league, guys that are no longer in the league, and the sky's falling. It's the worst thing in the world. It's the worst thing in the world, folks. This is Ricky Williams type stuff all over again. You got to be freaking kidding me, man. This is when people are just complaining just to complain. People are just trying to be outraged just to be outraged. That's it. Like, we losing sleep over fourth-round picks that gave us the incredible stylings of Rick Leonard. Going at people on social media, or basically calling into these shows because the Saints gave up a fourth-round pick that only two guys, and like I said, I'm going to leave these two young gentlemen that they just drafted out of this. Two guys that made an impact on the New Orleans Saints team since 2016, and we sitting up here complaining about, oh man, the Saints don't have a fourth-round pick anymore. They don't have one. See, this is the reason why we're losing. We're losing because we don't have Rick Leonard. The Saints are losing because Nick Saldiveri is not on the field. Ian Book is not the quarterback. That is why the Saints are losing. That is the reason why the Saints are in the position that they're in, because they lost a fourth-round draft pick and a seventh-round pick that if you go into the archives of history, what seventh-round pick for the New Orleans Saints is still playing on this team? What seventh-round pick is a contributor for the New Orleans Saints team? What? It's just a simple fact that they're actually using a seventh-round pick? So if you actually use a seventh-round pick and draft somebody who doesn't make the team, did you really lose anything? Wow, you just heard a person's name? Oh, yeah, man, let me see what he can actually do. Oh, he gets cut. But you trade for a guy that can come in, that can fill a void, that you see play, and that has the capability of making plays. But we upset because we're losing players that get drafted in the fourth round that, gave us the incredible stylings of a Rick Leonard. Okay, all right, man. Like, this is ridiculous. Debo, the guy, 199. Loomis should have been fired for drafting Rick. I promise you, bruh. I promise you. Half of the people on here don't even know who Rick Leonard is. I'm just saying, man. And then on top of that, without using Wikipedia, and I'm gonna take the honor system. I'm gonna take the honor system with each and every one of you. Without using Wikipedia, Google, or whatever, be real, okay? It's between you, me, and the Lord above. What did the New Orleans Saints give up for a 3rd round pick? What did they give up for Alvin Kamara? What did they give up for Alvin Kamara? Right now, don't use Wikipedia, don't use Google, don't use anything. Somebody right now tell me, what did they give up for him? Do you know what they gave up for him? I forgot. Do you know why? Because Alvin Kamara makes you forget about anything that they gave up because he's one of the best. No, see, here's the thing. Nobody cares about what you lose if the return on investment is better. If the return on investment is better than what you lost, nobody thinks about it. If Devaughn Vele comes to the Saints and contributes, are we talking about this 4th round pick that they lost? Are we talking about this 7th round pick that they lost? No, we're not. We are not, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Now somebody can go to Google, go to Wikipedia, go to ChatGPT and let me know what the New Orleans Saints gave up to move up for Alvin Kamara. If somebody has some time, please do that. Because I couldn't even tell you. Because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Because Alvin Kamara is the greatest running back in the history of the Saints, or at least top 2, top 3. Depends on how you want to rank them. So nobody cares if the production, it outweighs what you actually gave up. But some of us just want to, let me get to the front. It's not going to work, y'all. It's not going to work. You heard it here first. It came from me. Oh, my goodness. It came from me first. So remember my name. Remember this face if it don't work out. Like, we ain't going to sit there and chill in a cut and try to, analyze based on the things that we're seeing and things start to occur. We're not going to do that. We won't rush to the front of the line. I'm telling y'all right now, we about to suck. We gonna tank for Arch. Give me a freaking break, man. Come on, man. Whatever happened to wait and see approach, ladies and gentlemen? LOL, I don't even remember what they gave up. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. I Googled them highlights to see how he looked on the field. And that's fine. And like I said, man, the dude is, what do you call it? Like, somebody put it up there. I believe it's like 73 or 74% of his targets. That's good. That's pretty doggone good stuff right there. Consider the guy was a 7th-round pick. TJ, proven players are worth for low draft picks. Flops or a dime a dozen. I told you, TJ, these fans need emotions by each time and a theme song. Look, I understand, like I said, I understand skepticism. I understand, like, you don't want to, like, you basically, it's like stepping in a pool that you tip put your toe in and it's cold. I get it. I get it, right? But at the same time, man, the energy, bro, it's like nothing is going to work. Like, oh, man, this ain't going to work. Why are you spending your time spending your time watching a 17-game season just to get your heart broken disappointment? I just want to know. I'm really wondering, is this just like some type of Jedi mind trick or something? I'm just wondering, is this some type of Jedi mind trick that fans are trying to do? Like, okay, if I say they bad, then it'll soften the blow if they end up being bad. Or I'm going to put this energy in the air and it's just going to, reverse, and everything bad that I'm saying going to be positive. I don't know, man. But I find it funny. It is a roller coaster of emotions. Only in the world of, content creation and social media will you become the baby face one day and the heel the next. It's amazing how TJ Jones, can go from the most negative Saints podcaster out there to being a organizational plant by the New Orleans Saints. Like only on social media, only in this world, only in this space could this possibly happen. But here's the thing, man. When you rock with loyal individuals like yourself, that's who I tweet for. That's who I have conversations with. If anybody else that just want to meet me and they just see me on X, fine. That's cool, man. Hopefully you come over and check out the podcast. But my tweets are towards the people that will take the time out to understand that I am giving my honest opinion based on how I'm feeling at this time. And they'll come back to check out the podcast to get context. Only on social media will you find out who you are and what you are. And you be like, I am? Oh, you just doing this for clicks? I am? Like, yeah. You ever just thought like maybe, just maybe, like there are genuine people who have these type of feelings about certain situations and it doesn't have to have any type of nefarious meaning behind it? I mean, just a thought. Just a thought. TJ, the Saints fans was complaining about a big body receiver. We got one, and they still complaining. WTF is wrong with these Saints? They never satisfied. And that's the whole point. And that's the reason why the organization will continue to tune you out. That's the reason why. And this may sound like I'm turning heel here, but I can't blame them. I can't blame them, man. Like, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. We need a new quarterback. We got one. That ain't Shadur Sanders. We need a big body receiver. Got one. That ain't Gabe Davis. What? I don't know, bro. You ever just thought maybe Gabe Davis didn't fit the offensive scheme of Kellen Moore? And maybe Devaughn Vele probably does? I mean, you ever just thought about that? You ever thought about maybe, the Saints who are switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4, they want to get players that actually fit a 3-4 defense instead of a 4-3? You ever thought about that? You ever thought about the fact that the Saints are trying to build through the draft? So maybe you got to have some players going through the emotions, but nah, I don't know who he is. So, man, he gonna suck. He suck because I don't know who he is. I don't know, man. Let me go ahead. Let me do my research real quick. Wikipedia.com. TJ, somebody said we don't need Cooks no more. Saints need all the wide receiver help they can get until they figure out this alignment. Like, I still don't feel like the Saints have a number one receiver on this team. I think that they just have a number one receiver based on depth chart positioning. Until it's proven otherwise, this could be the year that Chris Olave becomes that number one receiver that the Saints need. But right now, he's just number one on paper. Because I already told you, I feel like Rashid Shaheed is slowly emerging as that top receiver on this football team. And there's no disrespect to Chris Olave. I just think that Rashid Shaheed is looking better right now. And he gets better every single year. So I just think that you got wide receiver by committee right now until Chris Olave basically breaks out and becomes that receiver that the Saints expected him to be when they drafted him in 2022. Loomis was a big reason for the Dennis and Carr era. He loves these men. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not about to sit up here and take the side of no Mickey Loomis. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. Everybody know. Look, I've done over 1,800 episodes of the State of the Saints podcast stemming back since 2018. Your boy been in the trenches for this old Saints content thing. This ain't my first rodeo. It's pretty well documented how I feel about Mickey Loomis. I don't feel like the Saints will reach their full potential until homie just realizes that he ain't got it no more. Or you have a coach that can be able to rise above his bad decisions like Sean Payton was able to do. That is the way that I feel. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these draft picks, man, I'm seeing guys flashing. So what am I supposed to do? Pretend like it doesn't exist? If I'm looking at Kelvin Banks getting that one of the highest PFF grades, I'm talking about veterans or even rookies, am I supposed to shy away because it helps and people feel like, okay, Mickey Loomis did something right there. Or he was a part of doing something right. Am I supposed to shy away from that? So I'm supposed to big up things that are going in a positive direction because I need this dude up out of here. So any positive affirmations that involve this guy, that just means that, oh, I'm just helping him build another brick on the Mickey Loomis house, right? And when I'm looking at Danny Stutzman out here flying sideline to sideline, when I'm seeing Quincy Riley catching interceptions back-to-back days at practice, when I'm looking at Fadil Diggs rushing the passer, getting home, when I'm looking at these other players around here that got drafted, Giannis Sinker catching interceptions, trying to return it for a touchdown, making big plays. Am I supposed to turn my head because Mickey Loomis was involved in the process? That just doesn't make any sense to me. Two things can be true, folks. It don't always have to be a split screen type culture that we live in. Just because I'm talking good about a person doesn't mean that, this other person has to suffer because of it. Doesn't mean if I give a person some credit, doesn't mean that I'm still not skeptical about some of the decision making. But this is the world that we live in. People will crop things that you say where you're big up in somebody, but they won't go back into the archives to get context at all. Because I want to, oh, y'all heard what he said? But at first he was talking about Mickey Loomis not good. And now, he's saying that Mickey Loomis needs some credit. That's the world we live in, folks. That's the world we live in. Like I said, you're the baby face today, you're the heel tomorrow. But I'm okay with it, all right? Because I see very familiar faces inside of the chat. That's who I do it for. The people that have been here in the trenches with your boy, rather you just joined on and you understand that, people have different perspectives, and the individuals that been here from the beginning. If you just joined, I really do appreciate it. I ask that you hit the subscribe button. But I'm not here to be the fan favorite. I'm not here to be the heel. I'm here to be TJ Jones. Point blank, period. Saints fan for 39 years of my life. Born and raised in New Orleans. Raised in the 9th Ward. But we're going to call a spade a spade. We're going to big up and commend when things are going good. We're going to criticize when things aren't going good. But we're not going to be pessimistic about every situation because we're upset. Like a bitter ex that's watching their ex-boyfriend or girlfriend living their best life on social media. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Saints media going live in 30. I'll be off by then. Gotta go pick up the Pac-Man from school. Cam and Vele balls out and we win 5 games and still need better players next year, then what? Well, you just get better players. You just get better players. Like, we already know that the Saints need better players. Cool people. Thank you for being here, man. But I will say what I've been saying. In order for the Saints to get out of this situation, they're going to have to build through the draft. Newsflash to some people, and I'm not just talking to you, Cool Sports. I'm just talking in general. The Saints aren't a quarterback. The Saints aren't a running back. The Saints aren't a wide receiver. The Saints aren't a linebacker, defensive lineman away from finding success. What the Saints need to do is continue to try to draft well. It seems like they got some guys that can flash. Keep doing that. Build up your roster with young, talented players on rookie deals. Next season, the salary cap situation will be better. And that's another thing that some of you Saints fans need to understand. Man, we need to go out here and get Justin Jefferson. He ain't got no help in Minnesota. Maybe they'll give him up. The Saints will be in a better situation, salary cap wise, in a year after that, over the next couple of years. You will be able, if you continue to get players that can make an immediate impact, you can also go out here and sign players that are veterans that you can add to the team, and you can have yourself a collection of young players on rookie deals and impactful players that are veterans, kind of similar to what the Saints did 2017 and when they got DeMario Davis, right? Or, when they got, traded for like John Velma or whatever. You got veteran players, you brought in young guys, you put them together, and you were able to be successful. So they are not a quarterback, running back, wide receiver away, like some people may think. Once again, this is not Madden. We're not playing Madden here. We ain't got the salary cap off, right? We ain't editing players to go up to 99 to fix our situation. We're not doing that. You got to build through the draft, and you got to be able to hit on some of these players. Then, when your salary cap, goes back to, the black, and you can bring some guys in without exhausting your cap, then you'll become a better version. But right now, the Saints are in the rebuild. I mentioned the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, same situation. First year, Dan Campbell was the head coach. They won 3 games. They drafted. They got Aiden Hutchinson in there. They got Jack Campbell up in that thing. A couple of years later, they got Terrion Arnold, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They brought these players in through the draft. And they also brought in guys that are veterans that made plays like Carlton Davis, Alex Anzalone. That is how you build your team. That's the reason why the Detroit Lions went to the NFC Championship game the next year. Number 1 seed, divisional round, home field advantage last year. But you got to be able to have the patience to do it. People want to talk about, man, the Saints should have did this a long time ago. Yeah, I agree. They should have. They should have embraced the suck a long time ago. But God dog it, we're here now. So what are you supposed to do? If we're talking about creating new behaviors and new ways to change things, why am I still talking about yesterday? If I'm talking about making a change today, why in the world am I still talking about yesterday? That means that I'm still conjoined to yesterday. So the change that I'm seeking will never exist. You got to embrace what's going on now. It's a rebuilding process. Talking about what should have happened years ago is irrelevant. It's not going to help. You ain't Marty McFly. You ain't got the DeLorean outside. You ain't about to crank that thing up to 88 miles per hour and go back to 2020, before the draft, and go in a room and say, hey, this is your future. You got Cesar Ruiz, who's a minimal right guard right now. And I'm telling you what Jordan Love can be. You ain't got that capability. Right now, the Saints are in rebuild mode. New coach, new quarterback, creating a new culture. That's where we are right now. So you got 2 options here. You can be pessimistic and complain about every situation, every decision that they make, and make yourself absolutely miserable then, now, and forever. Or you can understand that this is a process and things probably won't look ideal right now. But looking at some of these young players can put a smile on your face, because you know that with the right training, with the right development, these players can actually be beneficial and key cogs on the Saints' wheel in the future. I know patience isn't ideal. We don't like to wait for things, especially in this world when everything pretty much comes at you like that. But sometimes you're going to have to wait for things to percolate, to formulate. Vele being 27 years old isn't an issue. Is it not a factor? No, I don't think so. Because we're not talking we're not talking about a guy that you acquired by giving up a first round pick. We're talking about a 4th round pick, 8% chance of a 4th round pick finding success, being a part of a starting rotation in the National Football League. It's not like, oh man, you're a 4th round. We traded a 4 and a 7 for you. Man, you got to be our 1,000-yard receiver. If a 4th round pick comes to a team and he finds success, that's a big notch in the belt of the organization and the front office and the scouting. Because it's an outlier. They don't work out. It's an anomaly. They don't normally work out. Like we treating Devaughn Vele like he Jeremiah Smith or something. Like we just acquired Jeremiah Smith. Like we just acquired Justin Jefferson. Like dude is like a 4 and a 7. A 4 and a 7 is like, okay, if this guy part of the starting rotation, that's a win. If he gives you 500 to 600 yards, if he gives you 38, 39 catches, that's a win. Now, if we talking about giving up a first or a second round pick, oh no, dude, my guy, you got to be at least wide receiver number 2. Number 1, wide receiver number 1 down. You got to be wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 1 down. This is a 4th round pick here, and we're evaluating this dude like he Justin Jefferson. 4th round picks, if they work out, man, it's a plus. It's a win. If they part of your starting rotation, that's a plus. That's a win. Because most 4th round picks don't sniff the field. Dudes acting like we only had a 4th round pick and nothing else. We have 5th round pick. And once again, Cam, they still can get a 4th round pick back. And here's another thing. Well, the 4th round pick we would have got would have been around 120. That moves us to 135. My goodness, man. My goodness. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Man, I normally just listen, but thank you so much for saying this. Man, I'm just tired of it, man. I'm just tired of it. I just wonder what these Saints fans want, man. They just want to complain. I feel like at this point, you just want to complain. You just want to complain because like you just want to complain. And like I said, if that's the case, then I mean, and you got to know how to depict it. Because some people just want to like bait you into some rage baiting dialogue, or they just want to be negative Nancy. Because if you look at analytics, it shows that people are more attracted to negative tweets and negative videos that give negative depictions about something more so than something that's positive. So maybe if you're the odd man out, maybe somebody will pay attention to me. But there's a girlfriend or a boyfriend for that. You don't need to be out here turning heel on us, and giving these scathing promos, right? Oh, you people suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. You don't know what you're talking about. Y'all need to listen to me. I don't know, man. I don't know at the end of the day. I don't know if people just complaining just to complain. They don't even know what they're complaining about. Man, we done wasted a 2nd round pick on Foskey. You think I care about 4? Man, you ain't lying. Now that's something that we need to address. Like if the Saints gave up a 2nd round pick for Devaughn Vele, the energy, I guarantee you, would be extremely different on this edition. But we're talking about a 4th round pick with an 8% chance of working. And once again, you're going to get a 4th round compensatory pick back for Paulson Adebo. Because he making maximum money, and he's going to be a key contributor for the Giants. I've been saying this for 3 years, TJ. It's the nature of our fan base. Yeah, I mean, I just think that the narrative and the discourse has been so negative over the last 3 to 4 years. It's like people just trying to stay on brand. It's almost like if you walk around with your head down in disappointment and you never look up to see positive things happening, it's like you're oblivious to what is around you because you're so fixated on the negative. Like I said, if we're talking about Drew Brees being a quarterback or somebody like Drew Brees and all this kind of stuff, then, the expectations are high. Like the Saints' expectations are low. Like at this point, when it comes to a rebuild, you need to, this is just my opinion. You do what you want to do. You need to be looking at the bright spots of this team that's going to help you be able to get out of the situation that you're in. That's what you need to be paying attention to. the young players that are going to be flashing, because in 2029, 2030, they can still be on your team, contributing, being seasoned veterans, helping out some of the younger players that come along. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not spending my time on a team that I know that is going to be an uphill battle more than likely for them. I'm looking at the players that's going to be able to help them get out of the situation that they're in. I'm not looking at shoes. I'm not looking at tinted visors. I'm not looking at how they wear their socks. I'm not talking about how they wear the sleeve on their arm. I'm not looking at how they walk inside of a building. They ain't got a gold chain on or some Louis Vuitton on their back. None of that stuff matters to me. What matters is, how are you going to be able to contribute to the football team? I can give a damn about aura and swag when it comes to guys walking into a building and how they dress when they see the field. I can care less. I don't care if a dude don't have a visor on. I don't care if a dude out there making plays and sketches. I don't think they make cleats, but y'all get what I'm trying to say here. If they making plays, I can care less. Too much selling of the swag is going on for my liking. Too much of this. Oh, look at this picture right there, man. Look, he took a picture like this. And Shadur took a picture like this. That's why you need to be our quarterback. Boy, you seen that throw? Oh, man, you seen what he had on, man? He was iced out, chained out, man. He put that muscle up, man. He put the watch out. What Tyler Shuck did, he ain't got no watch. He don't know what time it is. Man, we should have got him, man. Kelvin Banks, he good and all. Offensive line in shambles, but, man, we need Shadur Sanders. I know ain't nobody going to be able to block for him, but we need Shadur Sanders so I can do this. So I can call up my Atlanta Falcon friend and say, man, look, check out the watch. You see what time it is. You see what time it is. Now, I'm going to show you on this other hand, too. I'm going to tell you what time it is. Man, Tyler Shuck, man, he ain't cool like Shadur Sanders is. And I like Shadur Sanders. Y'all know that. I went to the Jackson State University, but the dude ain't on the team. So once again, for all my Marty McFlys out there, if you got that DeLorean, go back into the past and change the future. Or maybe you got the quantum accelerator. Maybe you can get in touch with Sam Beckett or Dr. Ben Song. And maybe you can get in the quantum accelerator and go back in time and change and turn right what once went wrong or something. I don't know. Let me put up the watch, bro. Let me put it up, man. Oh, man, y'all got Michael Penix? Let me put the watch up. He got a do-rag. I got that watch. Man, y'all seen them Jordans he had on, man, when he threw that pass down the field? That ain't benefiting anything, man. That ain't benefiting jack. We all know that homeboy was blackballed. We all know that homie don't deserve to be fourth string on the depth chart, but let's just keep it a buck. He's not on the team. As much as I would love to have Shadur Sanders as the quarterback of the Saints, it ain't happened. It didn't happen. You got to deal with it, folks. Once again, maybe it's like the girl or the guy that got away and I'm hurt. I see him living their best life. That could have been me in Saint-Tropez. That could have been me in the Bahamas. But it's not. It is not. TJ, you got the fans down pat. You should start doing impersonation time in the podcast. Man, I'm just keeping it a buck, man, because I just think, man, look, y'all know how I do it, man. Y'all know how I do it. If you've been here, you already know. But that's what this all comes down to. It's pride. It's pride, man. It's like, it's like having the nerdy brother or the nerdy sister or the nerdy boyfriend or girlfriend, and you go into a setting where everybody kind of, chilling in a cut. And then all of a sudden they walk into the room and they trip over themselves or something like that. And you just, oh my God, please don't embarrass me tonight. That's what this all comes down to. Because now when I show up to work, if I stay in Dallas and I'm a Saints fan, I got to hear these Cowboy fans talk about, hey, bro, what you going to do at quarterback, man? What you going to do at quarterback? What y'all going to do? I don't want to hear about that, right? I don't want to hear about Michael Penix and how excited the Falcons are. I don't want to hear about how Bryce Young might turn the corner. I don't want to hear about Baker Mayfield being a top 10 quarterback. I need some of that. I ain't got no time for this, man. I can't subject myself to this losing. I got to show up to work. I got cowboy friends that's going to make fun of me. Oh, my goodness. All these years when the Saints were actually winning something and I was coming up in there saying, who that? I was excited about it, man. I was like, man, we beat them Cowboys, man. Week 2, man. We blew them out, bro. That's what this comes down to. This is pride. This is how this makes me feel. This is about how this makes me look. I ain't got no time for this. I ain't got no time for no 2 or 3 seasons for the Saints to figure this thing out. I got to get these jokes off. I can't be the butt of jokes. I can't be embarrassed by no Tyler Shuck. He's tripping on the field. He got tackled by the turf monster. We need quarterback help. We need it quick. Because I got to call up my Falcon friend and say, man, you seen that pass that he threw? He threw for 354 tutties. What if Vele end up looking like Mike T or Marcus Colston this year? Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that too. And like I said, if he gives you 450, 500, 550, I'm good with that. Because you got 3 receivers on the depth chart ahead of him. I'm good with that. Feels like Saints never committed to the rebuild. I don't know if this move is a sign of win now or rebuild. It's a rebuild. Cool people, it's a rebuild. You got to think about this, man. They brought in Gabe Davis. They brought in Justin Ross. They brought in, a couple more wide receivers. They went with a guy, despite his age, he's in his 2nd year in the National Football League. Think about this, folks. Tyrann Mathieu retires, he's 32, 33 years old. They replace him with Julian Blackmon, who's like 26. Man, they're getting younger. Like, I don't have a problem with that. If we look, practice what you preach. And I'm not, once again, not going at you, Cool Sports. I'm just saying in general, practice what you preach. If we need to get younger, if the Saints sign somebody that's 26, 27 years old, that's what you wanted for them to get young. Doesn't matter. Or I don't know who they are. A lot of players in the National Football League come into the league, don't know who they are, what they are capable of. And now they're household names. People are singing their praises. They're key contributors to the team. Like, who cares? Like, who cares if you don't know who that person is? Can they play? Can they play, folks? It's deeper than pride, bro. Bro, we got a top 100 player riding a bench. Bad decisions. I get all that. Bad decisions. Bad decision by the front office. But at the same time, terrible decisions can be made, but good decisions can be made also. And it's okay to still be skeptical, but also acknowledge the fact that a decision can actually look like it is going to work. You can say they made bad decisions on Zach Bond. I mean, that's well documented. Bad decisions on Trey Hendrickson, that's well documented. But you can also say that by them drafting Calvin Banks with the 9th pick in the draft, and he's looking like he can be something special, that's a good decision. You can still have your reservations about the front office, but that's a good decision. And it's okay to say that. I just have a problem when people gotta feel like just because you are skeptical about someone or something, that even if a decision is good that they made, or it seemed like it's going to work out, I gotta be pessimistic about it. Like I said, it's this two-way street. It's rather I'm going this way or I'm going that way. That's just what it is. If I say something positive about Tyler Shuck, his arm strength, feel like, with some time he'll be better, I'm knocking Spencer Rattler. If I say that Spencer Rattler should be the starter, I'm knocking Tyler Shuck. I don't think he's good enough. It's never in between. It can never be like it's a balance. It can never be, it is constructive criticism. That don't exist. Not in this world, at least. Not in the sports world. You said this. You said that. I also said this. Well, man, you talking out the side of your neck. Am I? Two things can be true. If I had $1 bill, that's $1. If I have 4 quarters, I got $1. If I have 100 pennies, I got $1. If I got 20 nickels, I got $1. If I got 10 dimes, I got $1. But we don't think like that, though. Let's see. He'll fit into Kellen Moore's scheme. This trade makes us better. That's what it's about. Can a guy fit the scheme? Not, I don't know who he is. May not know who he is. But can he fit the scheme? Does he fit what the team is trying to build? I trust Kellen Moore. I'm a Rattler fan. If he goes with Shuck, I'll get 100% behind it. I just feel like Rattler the one. I feel like Rattler should be starting. I feel like Rattler should start over Tyler Shuck. I feel like, number one, his offensive line is terrible. As of right now, it's terrible. That I will admit, it looks terrible. And you have a quarterback right now. He's trying to establish himself as a pro quarterback, and you have offensive line issues that are not going to help the cause. Spencer Rattler, on the other hand, is starting in 6 games, has experience playing behind bad offensive line, and I just think that you will kill this kid's confidence because it goes with the theme that we actually are talking about today. Everybody's evaluating Tyler Shuck, sizing this guy up, and every throw that he makes, bad or good, people are evaluating. They're minimizing some of the good quality you have and maximizing the negative quality. So if he goes out there despite the offensive line looking like slaw, we all know that they're looking like slaw. Once again, I can't let everybody know that I know the offensive line looked like slaw because I told everybody that Tyler Shuck ain't it. So Tyler Shuck ain't it, even though the offensive line is not helping him. I'm just going to take it for what it is. He not good. And then all of a sudden, here come everybody. Oh, man, they need to get rid of Tyler Shuck. Oh, it was a huge mistake. Not looking at context at all. I'm going to take it for what it is, right? Oh, you left the door open. I'm walking off in this thing. Logic and context is going to be completely thrown out the window. So why kill this man's confidence and, allow some of the, the whispers to get even louder? And then it messes up this guy's confidence before he's even able to weather the storm and get through these situations. So I would roll with Tyler. I would roll with Spencer Rattler. That's me. That's me. Let me take a few more, then I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Like I said, man, I got to go pick up the pack, man. Says, this from King Arthur. King Arthur says, TJ, that Torricelli kid has a mean streak like Penning, but just at the center spot, I'm high on the kid. Yeah, Torricelli Simpkins definitely should be a part of the 53-man roster. Done some really good things. They better not allow him to hit waivers because he will not be out there for long. So I'm just hoping that he's a part of the team. I'm just hoping that he's part of the team. I think he did enough to make the 53. Somebody call Ruiz and tell him he's soft and we ain't playing that this year. He needs to act like the first round pick. We know he can be. All that getting manhandled needs to end today. Well, I don't know what he can actually be because, I mean, he has been mid his entire NFL career. And I just think what you see is what you get. Like, it's okay. Like, Cesar Ruiz is a solid right guard. Solid means that you're going to have some good days. Where my church folk at? Have some bad days. Have some hills to climb. That's just what it is, man. Like, that's what solid offensive linemen look like. Like, Cesar Ruiz, if the Saints were to move on and get another offensive lineman, like, he'll be in the league. He'll bounce around. I mean, we see Andrews P still out there. Like, he with the Steelers right now after a stint with the Raiders. He'll still be around. But I think what you're trying to do and where you're trying to get to, that ain't it. Like, you're going to have some ups and some downs. You're just going to have some ups and some downs, man. You're going to have some hills to climb. There going to be some days where Cesar Ruiz do some good things. Be like, man, look at Caesar. Y'all remember that game versus the Cowboys? Y'all see big man running down the field on that screen pass to Alvin Kamara. Y'all seen him getting out in front of them blocks. But you also seen him slipping and sliding like the ice capades out there, going up against, them interior linemen as well. So ups and downs. I just think he is what he is. He is what he is, folks. And it's okay. It is what it is because he is who he is, but it's all right. It's all right, man. But, I just think if you want to get better at that position, you go out to draft or try to sign somebody in the offseason. Plain and simple. Saints fans going to feel stupid when Vele works out. Look, jury's still out. I like what I saw from this dude. Like, I'm serious. I like what I see from dude. I think he will work out. I think that he will make an impact. I just want to know if people have that same energy they had before they even seen this man hit the field. If it works out, are they going to? Is the apology line going to be as long as these tweets? That's all I want to know. And some of these comments about young man. The host requests no profanity in the chat as we have young and elder viewers. This is non-negotiable and will be strictly enforced. Share your opinions as you like, but respect the platform. Yeah, man. Look, daytime. A lot of young people watch this show. We'll let some things kind of go, but using extreme language, man, come on, man. We're all adults here. We all can expound on things without having to resort to, extreme profanity and expletives, right? I think we all are good enough for that. But my final thought is before we get up out of here, chill out. Just chill out, man. Look. I get the skepticism. I get it. I promise you I get it. But let's see if we can actually see this thing through. 4th round pick. Yeah, okay. 8% chance for it to work. If this guy comes in, gives you 475 yards, 3 touchdowns, 41 receptions at that position, went from a 4th round and a 7th round, I think that's a win in my opinion. It's not like you gave up a 2nd. It's not like you gave up a 1st or a 3rd. Those picks have a better chance of being starters in the league. They have a higher probability. The Saints more than likely will get a 4th round compensatory pick. If you just tuned in and you're talking about, man, Isaac Yadam, because he's starting, we ain't getting one. Please be kind and rewind like they used to tell us at Blockbuster Video, and I broke it down and explained to you why the Saints still would get a compensatory pick for Paulson Adebo, okay? Things may work out, they may not work out, but you don't know. At this point, you're in the cut, right? You scoping the scene out. You just hit the club, and everybody was telling you that this place has some promise, so you chilling in the back. You know what I'm saying? You back there right now, you analyzing the place, and you're wondering to yourself, am I going to stay or am I going to leave? Let's see what the DJ going to play first, right? Let's see who about to walk up in here, right? Let's see, let's scope the scene out for it, man. We like this. We showing up to the club at 8:30. Man, ain't nobody here. Who goes to the club at 8:30 and just says, man, it's going to be a rough night? How about waiting around, okay, or maybe not showing up at 10:30? It's okay. Maybe when you get there, they'll have a line. And you're like, dang, man, boy, let me get off in here. Seems like they're about to be on and popping up in this joint tonight. But some of us, we in a cut at 8:30. We chilling at 8:30, man. This place dead. Of course it's dead. It's 8:30. DJ ain't about to give you the best hits he got. He got to play all night. So just have a wait and see approach, ladies and gentlemen. Devaughn Vele, 6'5", 210-pound wide receiver, 74% catch rate. Guy is a big target, help out in the red zone, help out on 3rd downs, can line this dude up in the slot, win 50-50 balls, and can help out some of these speedy receivers that they have in Cooks, Olave, and Shaheed. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Let's not just go to the club at 8:30. Let's show up at 10:30 and see if this thing is about to be packed out. But I really do appreciate your time. Shouts out to each and every one of you. I ask that you hit the like and subscribe button. Help the State of the Saints podcast to grow. We got 500 people watching this right now. And I thank all 500 of you across different platforms. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of the State of the Saints podcast. We got previous episodes available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Check out the State of the NFL podcast that is available right now on YouTube. Search The State of the NFL. It talks about some of the hottest topics of the NFL. And if you want to interact with me on social media, you can follow me on X at TJAY-Jones8. Till next time, all I got to say is...
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh, my God.
Nah, that ain't it. My bad. All I got to say is, who that?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that?